Can you fire your Austin real estate agent? Or how to break up without the drama? In the business world, if a vendor misses their KPIs, ignores your emails, or fails to deliver on a project, you fire them. It's not personal, it's just standard risk management. Yet, when it comes to the largest financial transaction of most people's lives, smart, highly successful professionals will stay trapped in an exclusive contract with a subpar real estate agent for months, simply because they don't know how to cleanly break up without the drama. Most buyers and sellers think that once they sign a representation agreement in Texas, they are locked in a room and the key is thrown away. They worry about getting sued, they worry about confrontation, or they just resort to ghosting their agent, which can actually create massive legal liabilities down the road. Today, we're putting emotion aside and looking at this through a purely strategic lens. Hi, I'm Jeni. With a master's degree and years of experience in consulting and tech, I like to treat real estate relationships like corporate partnerships. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact legal mechanics of how to fire your real estate agent in Texas, how to identify if you're working with a hobbyist or a pro, and the proper compliance steps to protect your next move. Let's look at the data. Let's start with the most common misconception in the industry. When you sign a resident buyer representation agreement or a listing agreement, you think you're signing a contract with me, Jeni. But legally, that's completely false. In the state of Texas, a sales agent cannot independently enter into a brokerage contract with a consumer. Every single representation agreement you sign is legally binding between you and the sponsoring brokerage, in my case, Keller Williams. Why does this distinction matter to you? It means that if your individual agent is completely dropping the ball, failing to find off-market homes in Hyde Park, or letting your listing sit stagnant on the market with bad iPhone photos, your contract isn't dead. You have to stay stuck with that person because the contract belongs to the brokerage. The designated broker has that full legal authority to step in. If you call the office leadership and present a data-backed case of non-performance, the broker can seamlessly reassign your file to a top-producing specialist within the firm or grant you a clean exit. You are never completely at the mercy of one individual's incompetence. But before you make that call, how do you objectively audit your agent? In a normalized market like Austin, the difference between a part-time hobbyist and a true transaction strategist can cost you tens of thousands of dollars. Here are the 3 non-negotiable performance metrics you should look for. Red flag number 1, erratic communication protocols. If you are an executive or a founder of a business, you expect structured updates. If your agent texts you random emojis, sends you listings via chaotic group text with no data analysis, or goes dark over the weekend when Central Austin inventory moves fast, that's a massive failure in project management. A pro operates with a defined communication protocol. Red flag number 2, lack of hyperlocal nuance. If you ask an agent about a property in 78751 zip code and they can't speak to the foundation stability of pier and beam builds, historic overlay restrictions, or how the local school lotteries work, they're out of their depth. If they're just waiting around for automated MLS alerts to hit your inbox, they aren't consulting. They're just a software notification you can get for free. Red flag number 3, reactive versus proactive problem solving. When a home inspection reveals a horizontal crack in a concrete foundation, a hobbyist panics because they see their commission slipping away. A strategist stays calm, calls in a trusted structural engineer from their vetted vendor list, and engineers an amendment to adjust the sales price or secure a seller concession before the termination option expires. Let's say you've audited the relationship and decided it's time to move on. How do you execute the breakup cleanly without creating a legal mess? You do not just stop answering their calls. That is a dangerous move. If you ghost your agent, go find another house, and close a deal with someone else, that original agent could legally sue you for the commission under the procuring cause doctrine. Instead, you follow this exact 3-step corporate protocol. Step 1, document the non-performance. Send a professional written email to your agent. Treat it like a performance improvement plan. Specify exactly where the expectations aren't being met. Per our initial strategy session, we agreed to weekly market updates and proactive contract reviews. We have missed these benchmarks over the last 14 days, as an example. Step number 2, request a formal termination form in Texas. A breakup isn't real until it's on a state-approved document. You need to request TXR 1503, which is the termination of buyer-tenant tenant representation agreement, or the listing equivalent, which is TXR 1404. When you look at Form TXR 1503, you will see it officially ends the agency relationship. However, protect yourself by checking the terms regarding the protection period. This clause states that if the agent showed you a specific house in Tarrytown, for example, last week, and you fire them today just to buy that exact same house tomorrow with a different agent, you still owe them a fee. That's completely fair. But for any new house you find moving forward, you are completely free. Step 3. Escalate to the broker if necessary. If the agent refuses to sign the termination or gets defensive, you immediately escalate the issue. Send your documented email trail directly to the managing broker of their firm. Express that the partnership is no longer viable and request a mutual release. 99% of the time, a reputable brokerage will sign the release immediately to protect their brand reputation. The best way to avoid a messy breakup is to ensure you hire the right partner from day one. When you work with someone like me, I don't expect blind loyalty. I earn it through a structured framework that's my service level agreement. I'll lay out my exact communication cadence, my negotiation strategy, and my performance metrics before anyone signs a long-term piece of paperwork. If you're currently evaluating your options or preparing to enter the Central Austin market, I want to give you a tool to make sure you never end up trapped in a bad real estate partnership again. Click the link in the description below to download my mutual expectations framework and agent evaluation guide. It's a clean checklist you can use to interview any agent to ensure they possess the analytical consulting skills required to manage a high-stakes transaction cleanly. Don't let a bad partnership stall your real estate goals. If you found this strategic breakdown valuable, hit the subscribe button. In our next video, we're diving deep into the property market itself, the Central Austin trade-off between a character-filled historic home and a low-maintenance modern architecture, and how to spot a hidden money pit before it hits your balance sheet. I'm Jenny. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next strategy session.